Alrighty, so I've been messing around with this extreme Crockshell for a little bit. I just want to play extreme at least once and beat it on extreme just to kind of, I don't know, prove to myself that I can do it, I guess. Unfortunately, the reason why in the first video I kind of said that you might not want to even mess with extreme is just because of how many like niche kind of characters you need. So Green Monspeet is needed kind of because of his ultimate. It puts ignite stacks on depending on how high his ultimate level is, so it's not even all that great if you don't have it super high, but I don't think you'll need it like super high if you have Kyo. But Kyo is also a collaboration character who a lot of people might not have, that you may be newer to the game. So there's not a whole lot of options out there, and this one works the best just because they apply ignite stacks either through Kyo's passive or through their ultimates, which is the key, because the Crockshell boss itself will apply a debuff on you where you cannot use debuff skills, so that makes it to where Red Demon Meliodas can't apply ignite stacks with his single target card, or well, both of them are single target, but he can't apply ignite stacks with his ignite card. And I tried out Kane as well, because both of Kane's cards actually apply ignite, and one of them scales depending on what level the card is. I was going to try that as well, but because it's a debuff card, they kept getting disabled. I'm sure that there's a way, because he uses the debuff disable every 2 turns. So if you can try to time it correctly and swap between your 2 teams efficiently enough, you could probably beat this with Kane and Meliodas, but it's just going to be that much harder, and you're going to need to be that much more precise to really make sure that it goes off without a hitch. So it's really tough. Not the fact that he really does all that much damage, like it's not really all that bad, just trying to make sure that you can get enough ignite stacks on before he deals enough damage and whittles you down is kind of the problem. So we're basically going to try and rush some ultimates here with the 2 guys on the end, so that way we can apply as many debuffs or ignite stacks as possible. He's immune to every other debuff, and he also makes it to where as soon as you enter the battle or change teams or whatever, I don't think you're allowed to use buff skills. So you can bring Gother, but you have to wait a couple of turns before you can use upgrade or anything like that. So that can be a bit of an issue. So just keep that in mind. So we have a pretty good turn here. I think we're just going to try this out. I mean, this does technically hit. I don't know if this will take off an ultimate gauge, though. I think it will. Okay, it does. Okay, it's not technically like a shield, but it just makes it to where he has like that little barrier thing around him. So now we can apply 2 ignites with this ult and 3 ignites with this ult, because I think I have him 2-6. And then we just hit turn 3 with Kyo's passive. I'm pretty sure you need 9 total stacks to make sure that it gets rid of his barrier. So we're on 6 right now. So if I use this one, hopefully it will knock it down. We're going to go ahead and use that just in case. And then I guess we'll use this card because it does extra damage depending on the ignites. So there we go. There's that. There's 2 more. I think that actually just reset the lowest ones. Okay, so there his immunity went. So now we're good. We can try to swap over to the damage dealing team at this point and try to get as much damage off as possible. And then if I'm not mistaken, in turn 2 he doesn't have that sort of problem, so we should be okay. So he swaps. He's now in shell form or whatever. Oh, and he stunned us, so we can't swap teams. Okay, this is kind of an issue. I guess we'll just use these cards because we can actually get some extra damage off with the ignites. I don't think he's going to get the immunity back or anything like that. I think once you hit the 9 stacks, you're good to go, but I could be wrong on that. I've read all of his passives and everything like that, and it really doesn't tell you anything about the ignites and his passives, which I find to be kind of annoying. It just tells you, like, hey, he's immune to all debuffs except for ignite stacks, which is kind of weird. So now we can swap over to this team. Hopefully we can get a little bit of damage off here. We'll try to use Escanor to clap him a little bit, but he is green now in this form because every time he shifts stances, he actually changes what attribute he is, so that's a little bit interesting. We'll see how hard the ult hits here. I'm not expecting too much. Yeah, okay. He's actually not too bad, which then again, my characters do have like full UR gear and everything like that, so he's I mean, well, also this specific team is super tanky as well. All right, so he's got a stance up at this point. Hopefully we can beat through that. I don't imagine we'll have too many problems, but I don't know how much it's gonna neglect. Okay, so we're good there actually. So we beat through that. He's gonna shift phases. I kind of wish I would have been able to, instead of using the Arthur card, I probably should have moved Escanor's card to get his ultimate. But this is actually going a bit better than I was expecting it to. I think we're going to move these, make sure we get his ult. We'll go for Arthur's ult as well. I'm not too worried about putting on the stance at the moment. I wish I would have pulled an Escanor card. See, if I would have had it, we would have had 3 stacks on Escanor. It would have been the perfect time to use his ult right here at the beginning of the phase. Still didn't pull an Escanor card, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hopefully I can deal a pretty good chunk of damage with this. This one's a detonate card, so he's got full ult gauge. Should work out pretty good. And then let's try this out here. Oh boy, the dogs are barking. I am sorry. Alright, that didn't do quite as much as I was hoping it would. We've almost killed him though. We're not bad. And then this should be enough to clear it up. Sorry, the dogs are going to start barking really bad. I'm going to have to just mute the audio or something for a moment. Alright, this should clear it up. Oh, okay, so never mind. He's got a ton of defense in this form. But we should get Escanor's ulti here. So maybe we'll be fine. It lasts for another turn. He's actually giving me a little bit more trouble than I was expecting, which I know he's a pretty tough boss. I think we're going to wait out that immunity, which if he applies it every 2 turns, we're probably just going to have to beat through it or something like that. You may want to bring a stance cancel just in case on your damage dealing team. Let's see here. Ultimate. Not that much damage. We're fine. Goes for Arthur because he's stanced. Okay, and then he shifts forms here. So he's actually typed disadvantage to Escanor now, and he doesn't have a stance on. So we should be literally good to go. Boom. There we go. Okay, so at least I know I can beat it. I'm not really planning on doing this a whole lot because honestly, it's very time consuming to do the extreme like this and you don't really get all that much more rewards out of it. So I just kind of wanted to go over it. Maybe this helped you come up with a strategy or something like that. Like I said, you can use other characters, but the other Ignite characters might be a bit harder to use efficiently. So just be aware of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to mess around with this fight a little bit more because I think it's really cool that you switch between 2 teams and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty unique. So anyway, that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you then.